Anybody that knows me knows that I don't do copy and paste. So I acquired this site about 4 years ago. Now this is a seaside town. It's called Enniscrone. Across the road you've got a 5-kilometre beach, one of the cleanest beaches that there is in Ireland. I just wanted to bring something to this part of the island that I live on to the world, because I love where I live. I do anything to put it on the world stage. It had to be tourism related, but I just wanted to come up with a different concept. So I was watching the glamping progress throughout Europe, in France and Germany. But when I went and looked and researched, there were a lot of teepees and huts and trees and pods. Now, 500 yards across the road there, we have the Atlantic Ocean. And I'd be thinking to myself, if we put a teepee on this site, it could very well end up in the sky some morning with the amount of wind and rain that we get here. So whatever I had to put on this site in relation to accommodation would have to be sturdy. So I came up with the concept of turning all types of transportation into accommodation, and that didn't exclude a plane. So I went after a plane. I contacted 3 airports and I found there was one in Shannon. Now when I rang them up, they said, we do have one, but it's no good to you, it's too big. Well, I said, hold it there now till I go down. So when I went down and seen this, I was like, right, this is going to be a challenge. And the night I landed this plane on the beach in there, we made Sky News. And I was among the 3rd most talked about thing on Twitter in the world. There was the Russian President Putin, there was Donald Trump, there was me, the plane, and Sligo. Mission accomplished. It had to be real. It couldn't be a fake. So this was a real plane, it was a real airport, it was a real barge, it was a real tug, it was a real Atlantic Ocean, it was a real beach, it was a real small rural village, and then there was the site. And that's how we got the attention. There's this thing in Ireland called planning, and I suppose I didn't put a lot of thought into it because I'm not a developer. But it's not easy to do any sort of development in Ireland today. There are a lot of planning rules and regulation, and I had to jump all over those barriers to get there. And then we had to fall into the whole development of the site then, and then we were told about the planning restrictions and stuff like that. So then, you know, as humans, if you suffer a disappointment, you'll get depressed over it. And I suffered that for a few months. So every human being has 2 things in your brain, a negative and a positive. All the negative stuff, you have to learn how to turn them into positives. It's like the delay, I'm not crying about it. I'm actually talking highly about it. I'm saying it gave me time to think. So I've made my terminal building twice as big. I put a theme to it, an airport setting. I'm going to build a mock terminal building. We'll have double-decker buses. Then we have the train coming in the direction of the airport. And then I'll have about 6 boats over there. I'm going to sink them about 4 inches in the ground, and I'll bring up water around them, and I'll create a marine effect there. So, yeah, look, that's the plan. Well, not all plans work out, but as far as I've got the plane here. So, you've got to be positive, and I'm telling you now, this will happen.
Reach when he lands the Boeing on the Enniscrone beach. There'll be taxis and buses, a teapot, a train, but the jewel in this crown is the aeroplane.